Hello, my name is Kateryna Odarchenko, and today we continue to talk about political leaders and archetypes, and we will discuss archetypes and key leaders in Romania 2025. So, what we can say about Romanian leaders and about generally their race. Let's look to local politicians. First of all, we will analyze Nikos Ordan. He is independent pro-European technocrat in his positioning, and his role in party is former Bucharest mayor who was supported by USR Plus, PMP, FD, and other pro-European movement. And also he part of like pro-European Union movement group, and as you remember, it's like in a lot of Eastern European countries, it's like more pro-European groups, and some groups is like pro-Russian or more nationalistic. So it's important to know about every election in Eastern Europe. So what about his archetype? So as political manager, I can say that he have archetype of technocratic reformer. So he is honest, he is rational, he's anti-corruption activist, he is widely trusted by centrist urban voters. So that's why he in direct like archetype of classical European Union leaders. So his strength on that campaign was integrity and policy focus, and he also was shown in different political ads as a young, urban, educated person. So also if we talk about challenges on those 2025 campaign, so he was also looks like less charismatic candidate. So that's why he was needed on coalition of support, and also he was organized some different side tools to campaign, like his live blog and so on and so forth. Second leader is George Simon, a leader of AUR, Alliance for Unity of Romanians. So this political party is far-right nationalist political party, which is also typical for these years for Eastern Europe. So they were strong in rural area, like conservative. They work a lot with religious communities, and if we talk about his archetype, it's populist strong man. So he is nationalist, he had messages about anti-establishment, he is emotionally driven, and he appealed to mostly rural areas base. So he is mobilized and still can mobilize anti-elite voters and also some diaspora voters. So it's interesting points about this candidate, and his weaknesses also was viewed as divisive candidate, limited coalition options because he like far right. And it's also, if we analyze such candidates, I give to you this example because all archetypes have pluses and minuses. All positioning have pluses and minuses. And if you plan your campaign, you also must analyze your campaign and yourself, or together with team lead who form strategy for you, also your strengths, but also your weaknesses. And every candidate have strengths and weaknesses, it's like obvious. So third candidate, it's Crin Antonescu and Yelena Lasconi. So it's central liberal figures, and Antonescu is former acting president, Senate leader, and he backed by PNL. So he lacks like also positioning because he is former politician, and Lasconi, US candidate, withdraw early and then endorsed Dan. So because it was low polling. So it's interesting because they have archetype of institutional guardians, and they represent central liberal democratic establishment movement. Fourth person who we will discuss together with you is Victor Ponta, former prime minister and social liberal populist. So he was supported by a base of PSD, Alliance, and National Liberal Coalition, and also he was working an archetype of pragmatic populist, which like also interesting archetype for Eastern Europe, and appeals to those who was generally dissatisfied with both far-right and pro-European centrist parties. If you see now also like elections in Moldova, Moldova, and we have separate video about archetypes and elections in Moldova, and also we analyze some candidates there. They have pretty the same structure of ideological positions and so on and so forth. Rhine of the dynamics was like done via Simon, like technocratic candidate vs national populist, and Dan wins with 53%. So he was aided by diaspora, ethnic minorities, and urban coalition. So one more time, pretty narrow margin, and in this situation we also can analyze what archetypes work better, how to build strong coalitions, and also we can see the same campaign tactics, for example, in strategy issues and in messaging with different countries of Eastern Europe. If you're interested in more educational video about archetypes, about images, about strong words, about strategy of campaign, or you searching for a company who will do this work for you, we are ready to work as SIC Group here in Washington, D.C., and our offices in Eastern Europe. We'll be happy to work with you. And one more issue, now my book, The Game of Campaigns, on Amazon. So if you're interested in direct tools of campaigning, please go to amazon.com and you can search Kateryna Odarchenko, The Game of Campaign. So it's very useful tool book for you, for your campaigning in Eastern Europe, Central Asia, but also here in United States, Latin America, and other countries. Thank you. Bye-bye.